Welcome the rare gems. The rarest things are often the most overlooked, not because they lack value, but because most people don't know how to recognize them. The Sigma female isn't the type to demand attention, and that's exactly why people fail to see her worth, until it's too late. She's not loud, she's not flashy, and she definitely doesn't waste her time proving herself to people who don't matter. In a world that rewards self-promotion and superficiality, she moves differently. She doesn't beg to be noticed. She doesn't fit into neat little boxes. And because she refuses to play the usual games, people assume she's not even in the arena. But here's the truth. Being underestimated is her greatest advantage. While others fight for validation, she builds in silence. While they seek approval, she masters her craft. While they waste time chasing attention, she positions herself so that when people finally wake up, she's already miles ahead. If you've ever felt overlooked despite knowing you have something rare inside you, you're not alone. The world doesn't always recognize value at first glance, and that's okay. The Sigma female's power lies in her ability to stay true to herself, knowing that when people finally catch on, she'll be too far ahead for it to matter. So, if you've ever been slept on, don't waste energy proving yourself. Keep doing what you do best. Because in the end, it's not your loss. It's theirs. Watch this video to see why people keep underestimating the Sigma female, and why that's the biggest mistake they'll ever make. Number 1. She doesn't fit stereotypes, so people don't know where to place her. People love shortcuts, especially when it comes to understanding others. They want to size you up, slap a label on you, and move on. She's the confident go-getter. She's the quiet, sweet girl. She's the edgy, rebellious type. Simple, clean, categorized. But what happens when someone doesn't fit into any of those boxes? Enter the Sigma female, the personality type that leaves people confused, intrigued, and sometimes even unsettled. She's independent, but she's not aggressively climbing the social ladder. She's quiet, but not because she's shy or unsure of herself. She's detached, but it's not out of coldness, it's out of choice. People try to figure her out, but she refuses to make it easy. And when they can't pin her down, they do what humans do best when faced with something they don't immediately understand. They overlook it. This is why so many people sleep on the Sigma female. If she were loud and attention-seeking, they'd notice. If she played the traditional feminine role, they'd know how to treat her. If she openly rebelled, at least they could label her the troublemaker. But she does none of those things. Instead, she moves through life on her own terms, following a rhythm that no one else hears but her. And because she doesn't scream for recognition, people assume there's nothing worth noticing. That is, until she proves, without trying, that she was the one they should have been paying attention to all along. By the time they realize it, she's already too far ahead for their recognition to matter. Number 2, she outgrows people quickly, so they don't realize what they had until she's gone. Some people stay in the same place their whole lives, same mindset, same patterns, same cycles. The Sigma female, she doesn't do stagnation. She's always evolving, always leveling up, and always shedding anything that no longer serves her, and that includes people. At first, most don't even notice what they have in her. She's not the type to demand attention or make grand gestures to prove her worth. She's just there, steady, reliable, offering sharp insights, deep conversations, and a level of understanding most people don't even know they need. But because she doesn't make a big show of her presence, people assume she'll always be around. They think she's just a low-maintenance friend, partner, or colleague, someone who requires little effort to keep around. What they don't realize is that she's constantly evaluating. She's watching who values her and who simply uses her presence as a convenience. And the moment she feels like she's outgrown the dynamic, whether it's a relationship, a friendship, or even a workplace, she's gone. No warnings, no dramatic exits, just silence. That's when reality hits. Suddenly they realize conversations feel empty without her depth. Their world feels a little duller without her perspective. They miss the way she understood things without needing explanations. But by the time they wake up, it's too late. She's already built a new life, surrounded by people who match her energy. And all they're left with is the regret of taking her for granted. My favorite people, the rare gems. I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for your support, watching, liking, sharing with others, and leaving your thoughtful comments. I truly appreciate you all and hold you close to my heart, sending you a big virtual hug. Number 3, she's not bitter about being overlooked. She knows it's their loss, not hers. Most people, when overlooked, get bitter. They crave acknowledgement. They replay moments in their heads, wondering why they weren't chosen, why they weren't valued. The Sigma female. She doesn't waste her energy like that. She doesn't sit around stewing over the fact that people underestimated her, because in her mind, that's their mistake, not her problem. She knows exactly who she is. She knows what she brings to the table, and she knows that people who fail to see it aren't worth her time. She's not in the business of proving herself to those who lack the depth to recognize her value. While others are busy seeking validation, she's busy moving forward. And here's the kicker. By the time they finally wake up and realize what they overlooked, she's already built a life so far removed from them that their recognition doesn't even matter anymore. There's a quiet power in that. A lot of people secretly hope that those who overlooked them will one day regret it. But the Sigma female, she doesn't even give it a second thought. She doesn't need people to regret losing her, because she never needed them to begin with. She walks away clean, with no resentment, no bitterness, just a quiet understanding that their inability to see her worth is a reflection of them, not her. And that's what makes her truly unstoppable. Because while others are stuck in the past, she's already 10 steps ahead, building a future where she's valued by the right people. Number 4. She's selective about who she invests in, so she's seen as unapproachable. People are used to easy access. They expect others to be open, friendly, and eager to connect, whether the bond is genuine or not. But the Sigma female doesn't play that game. She doesn't do small talk just to fill the silence. She doesn't entertain shallow interactions, and she definitely doesn't let just anyone into her world. And because of that, people assume she's distant, cold, or even arrogant. But here's the truth. She's just selective. She values her energy and refuses to waste it on people who haven't earned a place in her life. It's not about thinking she's too good for others. It's about knowing that not everyone deserves full access to her mind, her emotions, or her time. She doesn't fake enthusiasm or pretend to be interested in conversations that don't stimulate her. She listens, she observes, and she decides who is worth engaging with. And to those who are used to instant acceptance, that can be intimidating. People often mistake her quietness for disinterest, but it's really just discernment. She's filtering through the noise, identifying who actually matches her energy instead of just trying to leech off it. And the ones who feel offended by this, they're usually the ones who expect easy validation. The truth is, she's not unapproachable. She's just unavailable to those who bring nothing meaningful to the table. So while others spend their time entertaining anyone and everyone, the Sigma female builds deep, genuine connections with the few who actually matter. She's not playing hard to get. She's just making sure her time is never wasted. And that's exactly why she remains in a league of her own. Number 5. She's not easily impressed, so people mistake her for being cold. Most people are wired to react a certain way to status, charm, and wealth. Flash some power, drop a big name, or act like you're important, and you'll have most people eating out of your hand. But not the Sigma female. She sees right through all of it. She doesn't care how many people admire you. She doesn't care about your titles, your money, or how loudly you talk about your achievements. She's not impressed by surface-level things, and that makes people uncomfortable. They expect admiration. They expect to be validated just because they exist. And when she doesn't react the way they're used to, they assume something must be wrong with her. Oh, she's cold. She's hard to please. She doesn't know how to have fun. Wrong. She just has standards. The Sigma female isn't emotionless. She just reserves her admiration for things that actually deserve it. She's moved by authenticity, not showmanship. She respects intelligence, depth, and quiet strength, not empty confidence. If someone is genuine, driven, and has something real to offer, that will get her attention. But if all they have is an image, she won't pretend to be impressed just to stroke their ego. People take this the wrong way because they're used to shallow validation. But the ones who do earn her respect, they know it actually means something. Because when she acknowledges someone's worth, it's real. It's not just for show. She's not cold. She just refuses to fake admiration. And in a world where people hand out praise like candy, that makes her rare. Number 6. She's not in competition, so she's not seen as a threat until it's too late. Most people are obsessed with competition. Whether it's status, beauty, success, or attention, they're always sizing each other up, trying to come out on top. Women, in particular, are often expected to play these social games, subtly, or not so subtly, competing for admiration, validation, or the illusion of being the best. The Sigma female? She doesn't bother. She moves on her own terms, uninterested in petty rivalries or meaningless comparisons. She's not scheming to outshine anyone. She's not desperate for attention. And she's definitely not wasting her energy on trying to win some invisible contest. Because she doesn't play the game, people assume she's not even a contender. They overlook her, thinking she's irrelevant, non-threatening, or simply not in the same league as those clawing for the top. They assume that since she's not loudly seeking recognition, she must not be capable of achieving anything noteworthy, and then, without warning, she surpasses them, effortlessly. While they were busy competing with each other, she was focused on actual growth. While they were trying to impress the crowd, she was perfecting her craft. And by the time they realize she's left them in the dust, it's too late. She didn't just win the game, they finally understand that she was never playing it to begin with. This is what makes her so dangerous. Her success isn't driven by a need to outdo others. It's driven by something far deeper, her own standards. And that's why, when she rises, people are left stunned, wondering how they lost to someone who never even acknowledged the competition. Number 7. She keeps her private life private, so people assume she has nothing going on. In a world where people document their every move for likes, validation, and attention, the Sigma female stands out by doing the exact opposite. She doesn't overshare. She doesn't broadcast her struggles, victories, or plans to the world. And because of that, people assume she has nothing going on. That's the mistake. Most people confuse silence with insignificance. If someone isn't constantly posting about their grind or showing off their social life, they assume that person must be boring, stagnant, or unaccomplished. But the Sigma female? She moves in silence. She makes progress without announcing it. She handles her personal business behind closed doors, not on a stage for applause. She doesn't need external validation to confirm she's doing well. She knows that the most valuable things in life, her goals, her relationships, her personal growth, aren't meant for public consumption. While others are busy curating an image, she's living a real life. And by the time people finally notice, she's already miles ahead. This is why she catches people off guard. They assume she's not achieving much, not evolving, not thriving, until she makes a move that leaves them stunned. A new career leap, a major accomplishment, a well-built life they never saw coming. The truth is, she doesn't owe anyone an update. She doesn't need to prove anything. And those who underestimate her just because she's not constantly in the spotlight, they'll realize their mistake soon enough when they see what she's built in private while they were too busy chasing attention. Number 8. She moves in silence. So people assume she's not doing much. Most people have a habit of announcing their every move. They want recognition, validation, and applause for even the smallest achievements. In their world, if no one sees it, it didn't happen. But the Sigma female? She operates differently. She doesn't move for attention. She moves for results. She doesn't need to prove she's working hard. She doesn't feel the urge to showcase every step of her journey. While others are busy talking about what they plan to do, she's already doing it, quietly, efficiently, and without an audience. People assume this means she's not doing much. They see her calm demeanor, her lack of self-promotion, and mistake it for stagnation. That's their first mistake. What they don't realize is that she's constantly building, evolving, and improving. She's stacking her wins behind closed doors, sharpening her skills, and creating a life that doesn't need validation to be real. By the time people finally notice her progress, she's already miles ahead, and that's when the confusion sets in. They wonder how she got there. They wonder why they never saw it coming. But the answer is simple. While they were busy talking, she was doing. She was putting in the work without needing applause. She wasn't distracted by proving herself to anyone. The Sigma female knows that true power isn't in being seen. It's in being undeniable. And when the time is right, her results speak louder than any announcement ever could. Number 9. She's comfortable being misunderstood, so she doesn't fix people's false perceptions. Most people can't stand being misunderstood. The moment someone misjudges them, they rush to defend themselves, explain their actions, or prove their worth. But the Sigma female, she doesn't bother. If someone assumes she's weak, unambitious, or irrelevant, she lets them. If they underestimate her, she doesn't correct them. Why? Because she understands a simple truth. It's not her job to educate people about who she is. She knows that the people who truly matter will take the time to see her for what she really is. And those who choose to judge her based on surface-level impressions, they were never worth convincing in the first place. This confuses people. They expect pushback. They expect her to care about what they think, but she doesn't. Instead, she remains an enigma, unbothered, detached, and completely indifferent to their assumptions. And because she doesn't fight for recognition, they assume she has nothing worth recognizing. That's their second mistake, because while they're busy writing her off, she's quietly proving them wrong, not with words, but with actions. One day, the same people who dismissed her will find themselves shocked by her success, her strength, and her ability to thrive without ever needing their validation. And by then, it's too late. She's already moved on, never once stopping to explain herself. Because a Sigma female knows, when you're truly exceptional, you don't have to prove it. Eventually, the truth reveals itself. Number 10, she's observing, not engaging, so people think she's passive or uninvolved. In a world where everyone is rushing to react, the Sigma female is different. She watches. She doesn't jump into conversations just to be heard. She doesn't engage in drama just to feel included, and she definitely doesn't participate in groupthink just to fit in. Instead, she observes. While others are busy talking over each other, she's reading the room. While they're reacting impulsively, she's studying patterns. And while they assume she's uninvolved, she's actually 5 steps ahead, because she's gathering insights no one else even notices. People mistake her silence for passivity. They assume that because she's not the loudest voice in the room, she must be clueless, indifferent, or unimportant. But that's their mistake. Because when she finally does speak, every word matters. She doesn't talk just to fill the silence. She speaks with purpose, precision, and insight that cuts through the noise. And by the time people realize the depth of her understanding, she's already made her move. This is why she's underestimated. People don't see her collecting data in real time. They don't realize she's analyzing body language, spotting contradictions, and noticing the things left unsaid. They only realize it when it's too late, when she outmaneuvers them effortlessly, making decisions based on knowledge they didn't even know she had. The Sigma female isn't passive, she's strategic. And while others are busy reacting, she's busy winning. Number 11, they're not for sale. Most people have a price. Some will trade their integrity for money. Others will sell their loyalty for power. And many will bend their values just to feel included. But a Sigma female, she's different. Flattery doesn't work on her. She won't melt just because someone showers her with compliments. She knows the difference between genuine admiration and manipulation. And she's not impressed by words with no weight behind them. Bribes? Useless. Flashing wealth, status, or material perks won't make her suddenly change who she is. She's not drawn to money. She's drawn to substance. If she wants something, she'll get it on her own, not because someone dangled it in front of her like bait. Attention? It's worthless to her. While others crave validation, she doesn't need an audience to feel important. She isn't moved by who's watching, who's praising, or who's offering her a seat at the table. She's already building her own. This confuses people. Society expects women to be persuadable, to be won over by charm, luxury, or social approval. But the Sigma female is a rare breed. She operates on her own principles, not external incentives. Because of this, she's often overlooked. People assume she's unapproachable, too independent, or simply uninterested in playing the game. And they're right, she's not playing. She's living on her own terms, answering to no one and staying true to herself. You can't buy a Sigma female's loyalty, respect, or love. You have to earn it. And that's exactly why so few people ever do. People sleep on the Sigma female because they don't understand her. She doesn't fit their labels, doesn't play their games, and doesn't beg for recognition. She's not loud about her power, and that makes it easy for people to overlook her, until she's already miles ahead. But here's the thing, she doesn't care. She's not waiting for people to wake up and see her worth. She's too busy living life on her own terms, making moves in silence and building a reality where validation is irrelevant. And that's what makes her truly unstoppable. If you resonate with this, know this: you are not too much. You are not too distant, too selective, or too independent. You are exactly as you should be. The world may not always recognize your value up front, but that's their problem, not yours. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to prove yourself. Just keep being you, and let your actions do the talking. By the time they realize what they missed, you'll already be gone. If this hit home, then you already know what to do. Watch the video, take it all in, and embrace what makes you different. Because the rarest ones, they never have to chase respect. They become it. Thank you for watching The Rare Gems, and God bless you.